we're going to be going over the operation of a Genie TZ3420. It's a tow behind man lift, goes 34 foot high. And right now we're just going to run you through the operation on how it operates. Just kind of give you a rundown of the controls, show you any sort of ticks that the machine might have. So let's get started. So our first step that we're going to do, our key has 3 positions, okay? So we have left would be basket controls, center will be off, and right will be ground controls. Our next step is we're going to move over to these controls so we can operate these legs. So we're going to press this black button, and at the same time we're going to press yellow. By pressing these 2 buttons together, all 4 legs will come down to the ground. Now this machine does have an auto level feature, so continue to hold these 2 buttons, and all 4 legs will go to the ground. They'll go to the ground and they'll raise the machine up a little bit. Again, through this process, don't let go of the buttons, otherwise it'll reset. So you're going to continue to hold them. The machine, once all 4 legs go to the ground, the machine will lift. It'll pause, make some minor adjustments. And when you hear that one long beep like that, it means the machine is level, happy, and it's good to go. So from there, our next step is we're just going to confirm that the outriggers are indeed on the ground and level, and that's just by looking at each one of these right here. They represent each individual leg, and they should be lit up green. If one of these is not lit up green, then that means there's a particular problem with that leg. Maybe it doesn't have enough pressure on the ground, maybe it's off level in this direction, so it's going to make the machine unhappy and won't allow you to go into the air. So if you do come into a problem where one of these is not lit up green, simply bring the legs back down just about a foot off the ground and then try it again. In some cases you will have to move it to a more firmer ground because it's just too soft in this particular area to operate, or it's either your grade is going to be too steep. It will auto level up to a 12% grade, but anything more than that it won't auto level. So from there, I see I got 4 green LEDs, so I know my machine is level and happy. So I'm going to come to the back of the machine and I'm going to unlatch it. I want to unlatch the boom. I want to make sure I do that first, because if I leave that on there and go up, it will bust the latch. Okay, that latch is not strong enough to keep the boom down against the hydraulics. So if you go up with the latch, it will break the latch. Our next step from there is, if you're going to control it from here, we'll just begin with these buttons here and the colors. Or if you're going to control it in the basket, you just simply flip your key over to the left for basket controls, climb into your basket from the rear, and away you go. For our video purposes, I'll be doing it here on the ground controls. So starting with our boom operations, the same way I pressed yellow with this black button to bring all legs down, you have to press the corresponding color with each one of these boom functions to make it operate that particular way. So most of the time blue is going to be going up, most of the time yellow is going to be coming down. So for example, if I wanted to go up with this boom right here, I'm going to press and hold this button and press and hold blue at the same time. At that point the boom will raise. Same thing for the one above it. If I want to raise the secondary boom, I press and hold that button and press and hold blue, and the boom will go up. On these articulating models, most of them will have a boom inside the secondary boom that will shoot out. And same thing here, if I want to operate that boom, I press and hold, and I press and hold blue, and that boom shoots out. You do also have a basket tilt function, and then platform rotation here at the base of the machine. Now let's say you've got it to an area and you've finished your job here, and now you need to move the machine. So what we have to do at that point, it's very important that we bring our boom and we set it all the way back down into the cradle properly. If you try to cheat it and you don't set it back into the cradle, when you go to move the legs, the machine's going to get very unhappy. So take those few extra seconds, make sure you get everything lined up properly, seat her back down, latch the boom so you know you have it completely down, and then everything should go smoothly. Right now we're just working to get it right into the cradle in the front. Just drop it in there and lower the secondary boom. Like I said, if you can latch it, you know you've got the boom down far enough. If you can't latch it, then that's typically a sign that you need to lower the boom a little bit more in order for you to operate your legs. I do have this boom shot out a little bit, so I'm going to bring it back in. And from there, I'm just going to simply raise my legs up. So I'm going to use the same black button I used, but this time I'm going to use blue to raise them instead of to lower them. Another thing I'll show you here, if you do have a situation where the machine will not auto level and you need to manually level it, then all you'll do, you'll use the black button, bring all 4 legs down to the ground. Just like so here. Now remember, I said these right here operate individual legs. So these here are actual buttons that we can use to control each leg. So if this machine won't auto level itself out, if you look here, I do have a bubble level here on the rear of the machine. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to manually adjust these legs until each one of those are center. So just give me a minute here, I'm going to work on that. Alright, now you can see I've manually made adjustments where both of those bubbles are proper. So the machine is leveled this way and the machine is leveled this way. And I do have all 4 lights. At this point I just operate as normal. I unlatch the boom, I flip it to basket controls if I'm going to be in the basket, and away I go. In the basket and down here on the ground controls, there are 2 emergency stop buttons. These here act as quick shut-offs should you have any issues with the machine, or just have some sort of emergency situation where you need to shut the machine off really quick. You just simply push one of these in and it'll kill power to the machine. Now like I said, you do have one here and you have one up there. If you accidentally push one of these in, obviously it's going to kill power to the machine, and if you do it without realizing it, when you go to move again, nothing's going to operate. So when you go to move, if you notice that nothing's functioning, check your stop buttons and make sure they are pulled out. Again, you have one here and one in the basket as well. Alright, so we've gone over the functions on how the machine works. Next thing, I'm going to take you through other aspects of the machine, such as the charging system and how to properly connect it to a vehicle for transportation. So if you come around to the rear here, you'll see this short cord dongle hanging out the rear. That right there is going to be your charge cord. It can run off a regular extension cord, regular 110 outlet. It is not recommended that you use it while you charge it. They say you need to charge it and then use it, otherwise you could deliver an improper voltage to the batteries, and for example, you could burn battery terminals off of a battery. But that's where you charge it at. Moving to the front, this right here, all this right here is going to be used in your transportation. So we'll start off with what we have right here. We have our ball coupler. On all of our lifts, they are 2-inch ball sizes. We have our latch pin to make sure that this latch stays in place during transport. This here is our safety breakaway cable. This is designed that if the ball should fail and the chain should fail, this right here will pull and apply brakes to the trailer itself. From here, we have our 4-way light wire, brake light wire, and then we have our 2 safety chains right here. Moving over here to this side of the machine, this right here is going to be a parking brake. So if you were to take this off of your vehicle and have it on an incline, you simply engage this brake, and that will apply brakes to the trailer tires to keep it from rolling. It is important that during transport that this is in the vertical position, so you won't have the brakes applied while you're rolling down the highway. Then on this side of the machine, this one is simple. This is just a trailer jack. This is just an adjustable level jack for you to properly place it onto your ball of your vehicle. Another thing I will note, it is also recommended that you disconnect this from your vehicle while you're operating the lift. A lot of times when you level out this machine, it's going to level higher than what the level of your ball is on your truck. So at that point, the front of this machine is having to pick up the rear of your truck, and it's just unnecessary stress.